Hey, Shalom, call Halayim Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And sincere Shalom to 144,001 third. Now diving straight into it, you got these bug outs, okay, these unbelievers, so on and so forth, that are still coming with the same debunked narrative over and over and over and over again, which is insanity. All right, they're a desperate attempt to somehow make the truth not the truth anymore, which is never going to happen because this is of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah, not of men. So Alexander the Great, or otherwise known as Alexander the Greek, and his father and the Macedonians in general, all right, as they were going around conquering and establishing essentially the beginnings of the beast system, all right, were Edomites, primarily Amalekites, man. Okay, now the term Greek and Grecian and the Medes and so on and so forth, those were like lineages of um of Japhet, but when you go into the history, Esau took over Japhet's land, all right, and end time prophecy lines up with that, man, with Russia, Gog and Magog, all right, because those land, what we know today as Europe, all right, what we know today as Europe was Japhet was ruling that land until Esau came in and ran him up out of there, man. And the Macedonians, all right, was a foundation of what from the, going off the scriptures, Amalek, all right. Of course, you had other tribes of Edom mixed in there, but Amalek is the head, is the ruling class, the 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 Judites, if you will, of the Edomites, like how Judah is the head of the Israelites. Amalek is the head of the Edomites. All right. Now let's just prove that point real quick. Let's get this right here. This is Numbers 24 and 20. And when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations. What is this going into? Job 9 and 24. But his latter end shall be that he perish forever. So this is, what is this, Moses that wrote this? If I'm not mistaken, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus. Yeah, Moses wrote this. All right, so Moses already knew Esau was going to rule in these times. Afterwards, he's going to fall and be exterminated, man. Pursuing the Obadiah, what is it, the first chapter, 18 verse. Yeah, Obadiah 1 and 18, not mistaken, where it says what Esau is going to be rooted up out of the earth forever. And you got these demons, man, saying, "Oh, Esau was already exterminated." How? First and foremost, Esau was still alive and ruling during Yahweh Shai. What was his name, man? Was it Agrippa? What was it? I forget the name of the king that was ruling in the time of Yahweh Shai. I think it was Agrippa or let me look it up real quick because I forget his name because he was an Edomite. Uh, was it Agrippa? Let me see. Herod. All right, Herod. All right, because Herod wanted to what? Try to wipe out Yahweh Shai. Herod was what? An Edomite. How do we know he was Edomite? He was the son of Antipater the Idumean. And who is Antipater? Not who is Antipater. What does Idumean mean? It means, in the Greek, Esau, Edom, all right? Particularly Edom. That's how you say Edom in Greek, Idumean, all right? So the Edomites were still around. Just about 2,000 years ago. From here until now, there's no recollection of the Israelites, all 12 tribes, putting them in slavery, putting a group of people in slavery and then exterminating them. That's never happened, man. Right? And that's gonna be another video. That's gonna be a whole thorough breakdown going into end time prophecy of why Esau is still here. All right? I mean, I can just hit one scripture just now, because this is just the best scripture. Like, you only really need one scripture, just one, to prove Esau is still here. All right? And then I'll Lord's will, my next video will be or the next two videos, one of those two will be going into why, breaking down Esau, like a thorough breakdown of Esau, Edom, and end time prophecy. So this is Obadiah 1 and 21. And Saviors, actually verse 18, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame. So this is representing the 12 tribes. And the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh has spoken it. So this is hardcore racism right here. Verse 21. And saviors shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau, and the kingdom shall be Yahweh's. So what is this saying? This saying in the kingdom of heaven, what is the kingdom of Yahweh? Daniel, the 2nd chapter, all right? Kingdom of heaven, and Esau is going to be judged in the kingdom of heaven. So are we in the kingdom of heaven right now? Fuck no. All right? So what does that mean? Esau is still here. Now let's go to Editions of Esther. All right? The 3rd chapter. Oh yeah, that's suspicious. All right, this never happened before. Let me refresh. Then do this. All right. Let's see what happens. Yeah, that's super suspicious. That's super sus, man. You see that? Look at that, man. You see how fucking look at this. Sorry, no results were found for it. What do you mean no? What do you mean no results were found, man? Let's see. Let's go to like Tobit. Let's see if all right. Tobit pops up, right? All right, that pops up. Wisdom of Solomon. I mean, all of that is popping up, right? We see all this is popping up, right? We see that all this is popping up. We're seeing this. We're seeing. You see that? And then we go to this. What I'm trying to get, and nothing. All right. So that's fucking Satan right there, man. I got it on my phone. All right. I got the Apocrypha on my phone, and I got 1611 KJV Bible right next to me. All right, with the Apocrypha in it. So no worries. So this is Editions of Esther. All right, the 3rd chapter and verse 6. Howbeit Ammon, which is Haman. All right. So I should pronounce it Amen, right? So howbeit Amen, the son of Amadeus the Agagite, who was the great honor with the king, sought to molest Mariochus and his people because of the 2 eunuchs of the king. So the main point right there is that Ammon is an Agagite. All right. So what is an Agagite? An Agagite is a Amalekite, man. That's one of the branches of Amalek. Let's get that. Um, 1 Samuel 15 and 32. Then said Samuel, bring you hither to me Agag, the king of the Amalekites. All right. So he's a lineage of Agag, who is what? Amalekite, man, a king, a high-ranking Amalekite, man. And here's the other point. Here's the main point I wanted to get right here. Now that we established that Ammon, which is Haman, uh, is a Amalekite. Let's go to Oh wait, I can't go to editions of Esther on here. So this is editions of Esther, the 7th chapter, and verse 10. For Ammon, a Macedonian, the son Amaduth, being indeed a stranger from the Persian blood, and far distant from our goodness, and as a stranger received of us. So what this is going into, because the Macedonians, which are Edomites, all right, a lot of, going through the scriptures, Amalek, a lot of Amalekites up in there. They were led by, of course, you had Philip, but Alexander the Great. He went around conquering a lot of the known world at the time, man. He was a mighty warrior, and he was also what? A Macedonian. Now that we got, actually, let me get one more. Let's go to Esther, and then we're gonna go into the origins of Macedon. So this is Esther, the 9th chapter. In verse 24, because Haman, the son of let me yeah, let's do that. All right, so what was that? Esther 9th chapter, verse 24. Because Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, the enemy of all the Jews, had devised against the Jews to destroy them, and had cast Pur, that is, the lot, to consume them and destroy them. So, just to prove the point right there, this is talking about the same person, and they're what? Amalekites. The Macedonians are what? Amalekites, man. Or at the bare minimum, the ruling class of Macedon were Amalekites. All right. So let's go into Macedonia. Macedonia, all right, also called Macedon, was an ancient kingdom on the periphery of archaic and classical Greece, which later became the dominant state of Hellenistic Greece. What? Hellen. What does that mean? What does it mean to be a Hellen? It means to what? Had a Greek culture. Our people, all right, us, we were Hellenized, all right? Now here's where is it at? It looks different on here, but on my phone it had like, oh, here it is right here. So these are the founders and the leaders of Macedon. What? Philip, all right? Then you had his son, Alexander the Great, okay? These are what? The leaders, the ones that are set up the Macedonian Empire, man. And they're Amalekites, right? These are Edomites, man. So the Argead dynasty, all right? They were the founders in the ruling dynasty of the kingdom of Macedon. So this is when Esau, this is essentially when Western civilization came about. This is the rise of the Edomites rule on the earth. Okay, let's go back. Let's get first. First Maccabees. Yeah, First Maccabees 1:1. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and the Medes, that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece. So this is when Esau put that mantle of the Grecians, and fashioned themselves away from being Esau, to hide themselves, that covering cast. All right. Now let's go to. I'm gonna end this off right here. Chapter 6 and um verse 2. And that there was in it a very rich temple, wherein were coverings of gold and breastplates and shields, which Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian king, so these are Amalekites, man, who reigned first among the Grecians, had left there. So what does it mean by reigning first? Does it mean they were the first Greeks? No. All right, the original Greeks, the original Grecians were a Japhetic people. This is Esau, all right, putting on that mantle, okay, hiding himself and calling himself what? Greeks. And then calling himself what? Romans. And then the British. And then what? The French. And so and the Franks and all that, the England, those were all Jakes, man. All right? The Anglo Saxons, those were all Israelites. Primarily Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. And now they call themselves what? Americans. Okay, they came over here and defeated Gad and Reuben, and they took this land, and now they call this land America, and they're Americans. They're not British anymore. They're not English. They're not Irish or whatever. They're Americans, right? Even though they're Edomites. Their lineage goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Esau. Okay, so that's it for this video. I don't want brothers all. It's edifying. Shalom.